Hey, this is Jonathan Fields, host of The Good Life Project. Today's sponsor, Boost Mobile, reminds me of what I love when someone reimagines what's possible. They have invested billions in building America's newest 5G network, becoming the country's fourth major carrier. They are doing things differently, offering a $25 monthly unlimited plan that never increases in price and letting you try their service risk-free for 30 days. With blazing fast 5G and plans for all the latest devices, they're changing the game. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store or find them online at boostmobile.com.
On today's Smart 7, Labour set to unveil welfare reform, Conor McGregor visits the White House and much more. It's Tuesday 18th of March, it's Global Recycling Day, and happy birthday, Lily Collins.
The Smart 7. It's news, but not the news.
We're due to find out on Tuesday what exactly the government is proposing for welfare reform. The weekend saw plenty of speculation and comments from Health Secretary Weststreeting over the so-called PIP, which is the Personal Independence Payment, and it's expected that the reforms will make it more difficult to qualify for. Sir Stephen Timms, Minister at the Department of Pensions and Work, wasn't giving much away as he was asked to reassure those concerned about the impact of the reforms.
I recognise there has been a good deal of anxiety, and I regret that that has occurred. But there won't be long to wait. The proposals will soon become clear.
3.6 million people currently receive the PIP payment, and backlash from charities and Labour backbenchers seem to have seen the notion of any freeze in the payment shelved. Long-serving Labour MP and Mother of the House of Commons, Diane Abbott says she thinks that the government are approaching welfare reform in the wrong way.
I have no sympathy with the idea that the way to get people out of welfare is to cut the money they have to live on. I have no sympathy with the idea that it's a lifestyle choice.
Tuesday will see US President Donald Trump speak directly to Russian President Putin over the proposed 30-day ceasefire that is intended to be the first step in ending Russia's war on Ukraine. European allies led by the UK and France have been ramping up support for Ukraine and continue to pull together the coalition of the willing, with defence chiefs due to meet in London on Thursday. It's clear, however, that whatever goes on during the conversation between Trump and Putin, that the Russian president has a long list of demands, something that is making Ukrainian President Zelensky nervous.
We will do everything to further intensify diplomacy. We will do everything to make diplomacy effective. But every day now is about defending our independence, our state and our people.
Trump has already made references to dividing up territory and spoken about the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant, which is currently occupied by Russian forces. It's a key piece of Ukraine's energy infrastructure, and its loss would cause huge issues for Ukraine. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt was sounding optimistic about her boss's ability to make a good deal, however.
As you know, the president announced that he will be speaking to President Putin. I won't get ahead of those negotiations, but I can say we are on the 10th yard line of peace, and we've never been closer to a peace deal than we are in this moment.
Reform UK attempted to step away from the controversy over one of their 5 MPs, Rupert Lowe, on Monday. He's had the whip suspended after allegations were made about his behaviour, shortly after he referred to leader Nigel Farage as messianic. The new Messiah was putting all of that behind him as he promised a report from a barrister on the incident by the end of the week. Nigel was more interested in introducing Reform's new recruits, 29 councillors who have departed their previous parties in search of the promised land. He says they needed some old lags, which included 15 former Tory councillors. He's also unhappy about the delay to some local elections as the Labour government works on local government reform.
We are pretty furious that 5.5 million people have had their vote denied. And just by sheer coincidence, it happens to be in many of the counties that are the strongest counties for reform.
Monday marked St. Patrick's Day, but there were probably more Irish people wincing than celebrating as the notorious Conor McGregor turned up at the White House. The former MMA fighter met Elon Musk, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, and even got to meet Donald Trump in the Oval Office. Trump is a big fan of the UFC and mentioned McGregor last week when meeting the Irish Taoiseach. The Irish government weren't thrilled by the visit, though, as McGregor, who has leaned into far-right rhetoric, spoke from the podium, with Micheál Martin calling his remarks simply wrong.
What is going on in Ireland is a travesty. Our government is the government of zero action. Our money is being spent on overseas issues that has nothing to do with the Irish people. The illegal immigration racket is running ravage on the country. There are rural towns in Ireland that have been overrun in one swoop.
Still to come on today's Smart 7, Rory McIlroy celebrates St. Patrick's Day and Robert De Niro is talking to you right after this.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment. Anyway, give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Welcome back. This week sees the Premier League on an international break, with Nations League action and World Cup qualifying to come. But we're also only 3 weeks away from this year's Masters Golf at Augusta, and St. Patrick's Day brought good news for one of golf's favourite Irishmen, Rory McIlroy. He was in competition across the weekend in the Players' Championship at Sawgrass, but the tournament ran on after McIlroy and JJ Spawn faced off in a playoff on Monday morning. JJ is ranked 57th in the world, while McIlroy is number 2, so it went as you would expect, and Rory picked up what's known as the 5th major for the second time, and is hopeful that his form can continue into the Masters next month.
Unbelievably proud and happy to win my second Players' Championship, and I think this is the 3rd time I've won on St. Patrick's Day, so it's been a good luck charm for me.
Robert De Niro is on a bit of a hot streak at the moment. He's just done his first TV series for Netflix, 0 Hour, and now he's about to star in new Barry Levinson crime drama Alto Nights. The movie sees De Niro playing 2 characters, both Italian-American mob bosses who go to war. It's a bit of a trend in cinema this year, with Robert Pattinson, Michael B. Jordan and now De Niro facing off against themselves. De Niro explained to Virgin Radio how he went about the process of playing 2 parts.
The most important part was talking to Vito when I was Frank and vice versa. I just couldn't do it to somebody reading lines or any of that. I had to find an actor, a person who would fit those characters.
We haven't seen much of Rami Malek recently, not since his role in Oppenheimer, but now the Oscar and Emmy winner is back in a new thriller. It's called The Amateur, and Malek plays a CIA cryptographer who loses his wife in a terrorist attack in London, which sparks a thirst for revenge. He manages to get himself some CIA agent training and sets out to track down the killers. It's directed by James Hawes, whose name you'll have seen on several Slow Horses episodes, and it also stars Rachel Brosnahan and Katrina Balfe. It hits cinemas on April 11th.
You've got the highest IQ in the CIA, but you're just not a killer, Charlie.
Then train me. I want to kill the people who murdered my wife.
The first one you kill, you let the other ones know you're coming.
Do you ever account for the things I'm good at?
You've been listening to The Smart 7. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hit that follow button and have a great day. Give us 7 minutes and we'll give you the world.
To get people excited about Boost Mobile's new nationwide 5G network, we're offering unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month.
Forever.
Even if you have a baby.
Even if your baby has a baby.
Even if you grow old and wrinkly and you start repeating yourself.
Even if you start repeating yourself.
Even if you're on your deathbed and you need to make one last call.
Or text.
Right, or text the long-lost son you abandoned at birth.
You'll still get unlimited talk, text, and data for just $25 a month with Boost Mobile.
Forever!
After 30 gigabytes, customers may experience slower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost Unlimited plan.
Forever.